Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Tonight's movie, I Can Only Imagine, by request from one of my biggest fans, Beth. Thank you. It was on my list, but I moved it up to the top once you requested it. Now it's out. I'm here to do a review for you. So, for those of you who don't know, I think this is a good one to read. The inspiring and unknown true story behind Mercy Me's beloved chart-topping song that brings ultimate hope to so many is a gripping reminder of the power of true forgiveness. So, a lot of good words in there. Gripping, probably my favorite. I think it's a good faith-based movie. I believe. I'm not sure. I will get into it here a little bit, and I will check in and give you a better idea of the plot and what I'm thinking so far. So stick around. You're already clicked, so you might as well watch it all the way with me. All right? I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're going to do a quick check-in here. I can only imagine we're at the 36-minute and 23-second mark. I did kind of forget to leave a couple of things out that I normally do in the beginning. Talk about the people who are in the movie and the rating. So 7.4 on IMDb. It stars Dennis Quaid. And he's like the villain. He's the bad guy in this one. Trace Adkins is in it. And Cloris Leachman. She has a small role in it. That's all I noticed so far. And J. Michael Finley, he's the one who's playing Bart, who is a songwriter. So the opening of the movie like almost gave me chills. I thought it was so good because they're talking to him. Evidently he writes a song and he says, it took me 20 minutes to come up with the lyrics and 20 minutes to create the music. And the girl turns to him and says, you didn't write this song in 20 minutes. It took you a lifetime. And with the music in the background, when you see that, not a spoiler, listening to the music and the way they said it, it was like, ooh, kind of gave me a little bit of chills. So, as I mentioned, it's Dennis Quaid is his father, and he's a very abusive father. They show him as a little kid, and you can tell just by the way he is, and even when he grows up and he's in high school, he's an abusive father as well. So, I don't like seeing Dennis Quaid that way, but he played a good part. The kid, he likes music, obviously. His mother decides to send him off to church camp so he can kind of get away from his father, and that would be, good. And he comes back, and his mother has left them both. As you can imagine, and then he goes for he starts to grow up a little bit, but it's those types of things that are these things are happening to this Bart. That gives him these life experiences, but they're all like negative things. They're all not positive. He goes on to start playing football and stuff like that. I don't want to tell you every aspect of the story, but you get the point. You can see these bad things happening to this poor guy. And this character seems like a good guy for the most part. Doesn't seem like a bad guy. But he's starting to discover his voice because of a teacher at his school. So that's where we are so far. I am enjoying it. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. We got a lot of the movie left. It's an hour and 50 minutes, but so far so good. I don't think I put anything else down. Nope, that's it. So I'll keep watching it here a little bit, and I'm at the part now, just to share with you. He goes up through high school, he graduated high school, now he's moving to Oklahoma City, I think, to chase his dream. So that's where we are right now, and I'll watch a little bit more. If something interesting happens, I'll check in and let you know how it's going, but so far so good. Alright. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of I Can Only Imagine. Sorry, no additional check-ins. I don't really want to share anything more about the content of the movie because you should experience it yourself. I like going into movies not knowing everything about it. I don't even watch the previews that often. I probably watch them well ahead of time. So I like to be pleasantly surprised or very disappointed when I watch the film. But I enjoyed this movie a lot. Very powerful movie. Very emotional, as a lot of movies about music are, and faith-based movies. That's the whole way that they happen. With the music and faith-based, you're going to get a lot of emotion in it. There's a lot of highs, and even more lows, I think, in this one. In the creation of the song, I Can Only Imagine, and the story behind it, like I had said in the first check-in, the woman says, it didn't take you 20 minutes to write it, it took you a lifetime. And it's the whole story that builds up to the writing of the song. And it was interesting, I decided to go ahead and read, some of the other reviews to see what everybody says on IMDb, and I found it interesting that people either gave it a 10 or a 1, and so I started reading them, and I didn't read the 10s because I've seen the movie and I think I know why people like it for the same reason I do, but the 1s I think are interesting, and I think it just comes down to people who like faith-based type movies and people who don't, and they the difference, these types of movies, it's not about the cinematography, it's not about how well it was directed or produced or all those fancy other terms that go along with the big smash hit movies or those types of things. It's more about the lessons, the moral of the story, and that's really what it's about. It's in this case about forgiveness and providing hope, and so if you don't see that aspect of it, I can understand you're not going to be impressed by the CGI in the film that happens. No, it's not for you, and I get that, and that's why you see the different ratings. So if you like these types of things, these feel-good type movies, these movies that can teach you a good lesson, and restore some faith in some different things, this is definitely an excellent movie. I'm gonna give it an 8. There is some Dennis Quaid was in it, which was great. The guy who played Bart, he was okay. He was obviously hired, I think, because he could sing very well. But he reminded me of Seth Rogen a lot. So I had a hard time dealing with that. But other than that, and again, that's not the whole point of it. The point is what happens. Why did this song come out? How did it come out? How did it come to become a song? Those types of things, and then how does everybody learn about the song? I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know what was going to happen there, because I wasn't really even sure who sang the song. I've heard the song before, but I wasn't sure who sang it. I knew who wrote it from the beginning. You kind of figure that out. But anyway, there's a whole little piece about that too, and how we now hear it on the radio and stuff like that, and who sings it and stuff. So, again, I enjoyed this film. These are my types of films. I like them. If you're into these types of films, check it out. It's definitely worth watching. Slightly long, an hour and 50 minutes. I think they could have, kind of shaved a couple minutes off of it. They really have you hanging on the edge to see what happens. But that's it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.